Thank you for joining us on another great journey in the cosmos. Warriors of the Void. The Human Response. Introduction. In the year 2788, Earth's Seventh Fleet, stationed between Earth and the Moon, faced an unimaginable betrayal by one of its closest allies, the Suttactacks Empire. During a routine military exercise, the unthinkable happened. The Suttactacks forces turned against the humans, launching a devastating attack that nearly annihilated the largest fleet ever assembled by Earth. This treachery marked the beginning of a brutal conflict that would see humanity pushed to the brink, only to rise again with an unyielding resolve for vengeance. The rallying cry of Admiral Banks to the survivors at the planet Sugun would echo across the stars, igniting a fierce counteroffensive that would lead to the ultimate victory and control over the Suttactacks and Faukanki empires. Let's proceed with the detailed narrative for each of the 8 chapters, ensuring each one is captivating and contributes to the epic story of human triumph. Chapter 1: Betrayal and Devastation. Introduction to the Seventh Fleet and Admiral Banks. The year is 2788, and the vastness of space between Earth and the Moon is filled with the imposing presence of Earth's Seventh Fleet. This fleet, a testament to humanity's military prowess, consists of hundreds of warships, including the flagship, the USS Aegis. Admiral Jonathan Banks, a seasoned and respected leader, commands the fleet with an iron will. Under his leadership, the fleet has maintained peace and deterred threats from other species for years. The Seventh Fleet is housed with advanced technologies, and the daily routines of the crew members paint a vivid picture of life in the fleet. The fleet is not just a collection of warships. It is a community, a family bound by duty and honor. The Joint Military Exercise. The story begins with the Seventh Fleet engaged in a joint military exercise with the Suttactacks Empire. This annual event, designed to strengthen the alliance and improve cooperation between the two powers, involves complex maneuvers and simulated battles. The camaraderie between the human and Suttactacks officers is evident as they work together, share meals, and exchange stories. Admiral Banks, along with his senior staff, monitors the exercises from the bridge of the Aegis. The mood is light, with jokes and laughter echoing through the corridors. This atmosphere of trust and friendship sets the stage for the shocking betrayal. The betrayal unfolds. Without warning, the Suttactacks ships turn their weapons on the Seventh Fleet. The betrayal is swift and ruthless. Energy beams and missiles tear through the human ships, causing massive explosions and chaos. The initial attack cripples several key vessels, including the Aegis. The Aegis sensors picked up a massive fleet inbounding the Faukanki, which joins into the attack. Admiral Banks, despite the chaos, quickly takes command of the situation. He orders defensive maneuvers and tries to regroup the scattered fleet. Detailed battle sequences show the desperation and bravery of the human crew as they fight to defend themselves against the overwhelming onslaught. Admiral Banks's leadership. Admiral Banks's quick thinking and decisive actions prevent a complete annihilation of the fleet. He orders an emergency retreat, coordinating with the remaining ships to form a defensive line. The scenes of his leadership under fire highlight his tactical genius and unyielding resolve. The retreat is a harrowing experience. Ships are lost, and lives are sacrificed to buy time for others to escape. The emotional toll on the crew is immense as they watch their comrades fall. The descriptions of the retreat capture the chaos, fear, and determination of the humans as they flee from the relentless pursuit of the Suttactacks. The retreat. As the fleet retreats, the focus shifts to the individual stories of the crew members. Scenes of heroism, sacrifice, and despair unfold as they try to save as many lives as possible. The attempts to transport survivors from one ship to another amidst the ongoing attack are fraught with danger and tragedy. The escape to Sugun, the nearest human planet, is a desperate dash through space. The fleet arrives at Sugun, which is heavily damaged to significant losses. The chapter ends with the survivors docking at the massive orbital shipyards of Sugun, their minds focused on regrouping and seeking revenge. Arrival at Sugun. The arrival at Sugun marks the beginning of the rebuilding process. The survivors are greeted by the planet's inhabitants, who quickly mobilize to provide aid and support. Medical personnel tend to the wounded, and engineers assess the damage to the ships. Admiral Banks, now faced with the task of rebuilding the fleet and planning a counteroffensive, meets with his senior staff to discuss their next steps. The chapter concludes with a sense of determination and resolve, setting the stage for the human retaliation. Chapter 2. The Rally at Sugun Rebuilding Efforts. The chapter begins with a detailed account of the repair and upgrade process at Sugun's orbital shipyards. Engineers and scientists work tirelessly to restore the fleet's functionality and enhance its capabilities. The descriptions of the advanced technologies being integrated into the ships highlight human ingenuity and adaptability. Admiral Banks oversees the efforts, ensuring that the fleet is not just repaired, but improved. New weapon systems, cloaking devices, and super warp drives are installed, making the fleet more formidable than ever. The chapter delves into the technical details, providing a sense of the scale and complexity of the work being done. Many ships from around Earth defense have now started to join the 7th Fleet, many of whose officers and crews have served with Admiral Banks before, making this transition much smoother and quicker. Strategic discussions. Admiral Banks and the commanders of the 10th Fleet hold a series of strategic meetings to plan their counteroffensive. The discussions are intense, with different options weighed and debated. The focus is on identifying the enemy's weaknesses and exploiting them to the fullest. The chapter explores the personalities and backgrounds of the key commanders, providing depth to their characters. Their interactions and differing viewpoints add tension and drama to the planning process. The final strategy is a bold and risky plan to strike deep into Suttactacks territory. Training and preparation. With the fleet's repairs nearing completion, the crew undergoes rigorous training to familiarize themselves with the new technologies. Simulated battles, tactical drills, and teamwork exercises are conducted to ensure that everyone is ready for the upcoming battles. Personal stories of the soldiers, pilots, and commanders are interwoven with the training sequences. These stories add a human element to the narrative, highlighting the personal stakes and motivations of the characters. The chapter builds up to a sense of readiness and anticipation. Moral and psychological impact. The chapter delves into the emotional and psychological impact of the betrayal and the ongoing war on the crew. Scenes of grief, anger, and determination are depicted as the crew copes with the loss of comrades and the destruction of their fleet. Counseling sessions, support groups, and personal reflections provide insight into the characters' inner struggles. The chapter emphasizes the resilience and determination of the human spirit, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Political and civilian support. The chapter explores the political backdrop on Earth and other human planets. The betrayal by the Suttactacks has united humanity in a common cause. Political leaders, civilian organizations, and the general populace rally behind the fleet, providing resources, support, and encouragement. Scenes of political speeches, civilian fundraising efforts, and messages of support from across human space add depth to the narrative. The chapter highlights humanity's collective effort and unity in the face of an existential threat, but all that was on the humans' minds was that there would be no mercy. Final preparations. The chapter concludes with the final preparations for the fleet's departure. The ships are fully repaired and upgraded, the crew is trained and ready, and the strategic plans are in place. The mood is one of determination and resolve as the fleet sets off for their first strike against the Suttactacks. The chapter ends with the fleet warping out of Sugun, leaving behind the safety of the planet and venturing into the unknown. The sense of anticipation and tension sets the stage for the upcoming battles. Chapter 2 will end this Series 1. Series 2. Chapter 3. Rebuilding the Fleet. Arrival at the Suttactacks territory. The chapter begins with the fleet's arrival at the edge of Suttactacks territory. The strategic significance of their target, a key military outpost, is detailed. The descriptions of the enemy defenses and the surrounding space provide a sense of the challenge ahead. The fleet prepares for the assault, with Admiral Banks and his commanders finalizing their plans. The tension builds as the crew readies themselves for the first strike in their campaign of vengeance. The fleet launches a surprise attack on the Suttactacks military outpost. Detailed battle sequences depict the ferocity and intensity of the engagement. The human fleet's advanced technology and tactics give them a decisive edge, allowing them to overcome the enemy defenses. The chapter highlights the tactical maneuvers employed by the human fleet, showcasing the skill and bravery of the crew. Key moments of heroism and sacrifice are depicted, adding emotional weight to the battle. The fleet's success in the first strike is a significant morale boost. The aftermath of the battle is described in detail, with scenes of celebration and reflection among the crew. The impact on Suttactacks' morale is also explored, setting the stage for the ongoing campaign. Let us delve into the strategic implications of the victory, with Admiral Banks and his commanders planning their next moves. The sense of momentum and confidence grows as the fleet prepares for further assaults. The fleet continues its campaign against the Suttactacks, systematically dismantling their defenses. Each victory is detailed, showcasing different aspects of space warfare and strategy. The descriptions of the battles are vivid and intense, highlighting the evolving tactics and technologies used by the human fleet. The chapter explores the challenges faced by the fleet, including supply issues, enemy counterattacks, and internal tensions. The resilience and adaptability of the crew are emphasized as they overcome these obstacles. Continuous improvement of the fleet's tactics and technologies. Engineers and scientists work alongside the crew to innovate and adapt to the changing battlefield. New weapons, defensive systems, and strategies are developed and implemented. Scenes of collaboration and creativity add depth to the narrative, showcasing the human ability to innovate under pressure. The chapter emphasizes the importance of adaptability and ingenuity in achieving victory. The personal stories and relationships of the key characters are further developed. Scenes of camaraderie, romance, and personal struggles add emotional depth to the narrative. The characters' motivations and stakes are explored in greater detail, making their journeys more compelling. The chapter ends with the fleet achieving a significant victory, further boosting their morale and resolve. The stage is set for the campaign's next phase, with the human fleet poised to strike at the heart of the Suttactacks Empire. The humans have discovered multi-targeting and deployed it on their ships, which has added more enemy stress. Some Suttactacks pilots had great respect and relationships with their human friends. There are reports that some Suttactacks pilots had surrendered to the humans and claimed they were shocked by the betrayal themselves. They said the morale was very low, and some refused to fight. There are some reports that some pilots have moved to the human side. Chapter 4. The First Strike. Targeting the Suttactacks home system. The chapter begins with the strategic planning for the assault on the Suttactacks capital. The significance of the target and the risks involved are detailed. The fleet prepares for the most ambitious and dangerous mission yet. Admiral Banks and his commanders finalize their plans, with scenes of intense discussions and debates. The tension and anticipation build as the fleet prepares for the decisive battle. The fleet warps into the Suttactacks home system, engaging in a massive battle above their capital planet. The descriptions of the initial skirmishes and the larger battle that ensues are vivid and intense. The human fleet's superior technology and tactics are showcased in the detailed battle sequences. A key tactical maneuvers employed by the human fleet, the role of individual heroes, and the turning points in the battle. The sense of scale and intensity is emphasized, making the battle a central and climactic event in the story. The innovative tactics used by the human fleet are detailed, showcasing their skill and adaptability. Scenes of intense dogfights, strategic positioning, and coordinated attacks highlight the complexity and excitement of space warfare, emphasizes the importance of leadership, teamwork, and ingenuity in achieving victory. Key moments of heroism and sacrifice add emotional weight to the narrative. Subplots involving special operations teams infiltrating the Suttactacks capital add depth and excitement to the story. These teams carry out critical missions, such as disabling enemy defenses, gathering intelligence, and sabotaging key installations. The challenges and dangers faced by these teams are depicted in detail, adding tension and drama to the narrative. Their contributions to the overall victory are highlighted, showcasing the importance of coordinated efforts and diverse strategies. The final push to capture or eliminate the Suttactacks leadership is depicted in a climactic showdown. The intense battle scenes, high stakes, and dramatic moments make this a central and memorable part of the story. The chapter builds to a crescendo, with the human fleet achieving a decisive victory. The fall of the Suttactacks capital marks the beginning of the end for the Suttactacks Empire. The immediate aftermath of the battle is detailed, with scenes of celebration and reflection among the crew. The impact of the victory on both sides is explored, highlighting the strategic and emotional significance of the event. With the human fleet consolidating its gains and preparing for the next phase of the campaign, the sense of momentum and confidence continues to grow, setting the stage for the final assault on the Faukanki. Chapter 5. The Turning Tide. Consolidation of Power. The chapter begins with the human fleet consolidating its gains in the Suttactacks territories. The strategic importance of these territories and the efforts to secure and fortify them are detailed. Scenes of rebuilding, fortifying, and organizing the captured territories add depth to the narrative. The challenges faced by the fleet, including supply issues and enemy counterattacks, are explored in detail. Internal struggles of the Suttactacks and Faukanki. The internal conflicts and power struggles within the Suttactacks and Faukanki alliances are depicted. The weakening resolve and growing tensions among the enemy forces are explored, highlighting the impact of the human victories on their morale and unity. Scenes of intrigue, betrayal, and conflict within the enemy ranks add drama and complexity to the story. The chapter emphasizes the strategic advantage gained by exploiting these internal struggles. The fleet's movements deeper into enemy territory are detailed, showcasing their strategic planning and execution. The capture of key strategic points and the cutting off of enemy supplies are depicted in vivid detail. Highlights the importance of intelligence, coordination, and precision in achieving these victories. The fleet's superior technology and tactics continue to give them an edge, but the challenges and risks remain high. Diplomacy and alliances' efforts to secure new alliances and negotiate with neutral parties are explored. The role of diplomacy in the war, including political maneuvers, negotiations, and alliances, adds depth and complexity to the narrative. Scenes of diplomatic meetings, negotiations, and alliances provide insight into the broader political landscape. The chapter emphasizes the importance of diplomacy and alliances in achieving a comprehensive and lasting victory. The detailed planning and preparation for the ultimate assault on the Faukanki homeworld are depicted. The strategic importance of the target, the risks involved, and the meticulous planning required are explored in depth. Scenes of intense discussions, simulations, and preparations build tension and anticipation. The chapter emphasizes the importance of planning, coordination, and readiness for the final and decisive battle. The rising tensions within the fleet, the personal stakes for key characters, and the anticipation of the final battle are depicted. Scenes of personal reflections, camaraderie, and conflict add emotional depth to the narrative, building a sense of readiness and determination, setting the stage for the climactic events of the final assault. The sense of anticipation and tension is palpable, making this a central and pivotal part of the story. Chapter 6. Operation Phoenix's Fury, launching the operation. Let's begin with the fleet's journey to the Faukanki homeworld. The strategic importance of the mission, the challenges faced, and the initial encounters with enemy forces are detailed. Scenes of the fleet's preparations, the journey through space, and the initial skirmishes with enemy forces build tension and excitement. The chapter emphasizes the importance of readiness, coordination, and resolve. The massive battle above the Faukanki homeworld is depicted in vivid detail. The descriptions of the battle, showcasing different aspects of space combat and strategy, are intense and exciting. The humans' key tactical maneuvers, the role of individual heroes, and the turning points in the battle are emphasized. The sense of scale and intensity makes the battle a central and climactic event in the story. Individual acts of heroism, personal sacrifices, and their impact on the outcome of the battle are depicted. Scenes of intense combat, bravery, and sacrifice add emotional weight to the narrative. We will emphasize on the importance of courage, determination, and selflessness in achieving victory. The personal stories and relationships of the characters add depth and resonance to the battle scenes. Subplots involving special operations teams carrying out critical missions on the ground add depth and excitement to the story. These teams face significant challenges and dangers, but their contributions are crucial to the overall victory. Scenes of infiltration, sabotage, and ground combat are depicted in detail, adding tension and drama to the narrative. The chapter highlights the importance of coordinated efforts and diverse strategies in achieving victory. The final push to secure victory, the turning points in the battle, and the ultimate defeat of the Faukanki forces are depicted in a climactic showdown. The intense battle scenes, high stakes, and dramatic moments make this a central and memorable part of the story. The chapter builds to a crescendo, with the human fleet achieving a decisive victory. The fall of the Faukanki home world marks the end of the Faukanki Empire and the beginning of a new era for humanity. The immediate aftermath of the battle is detailed, with scenes of celebration and reflection among the crew. The impact of the victory on both sides is explored, highlighting the strategic and emotional significance of the event. The chapter ends with the human fleet consolidating its gains and preparing for the next phase of rebuilding and recovery. The sense of momentum and confidence continues to grow. Chapter 7. The Final Assault. Pursuit of the Faukanki leadership. The chapter begins with the human fleet's pursuit of the remaining Faukanki leaders. The strategic significance of their capture, the challenges involved, and the final confrontations are detailed. Scenes of intense battles, strategic maneuvers, and dramatic confrontations add excitement and tension to the narrative. The chapter emphasizes the importance of leadership, strategy, and resolve in achieving victory. Mop-up operations. The fleet's operations to secure remaining enemy territories, confrontations with die-hard defenders, and the challenges faced are depicted in vivid detail. The mopping-up operations are intense and fraught with danger, but the human fleet's superior tactics and technology give them an edge. Scenes of ground combat, space battles, and strategic maneuvers add depth and excitement to the narrative. The chapter highlights the importance of thoroughness, precision, and perseverance in achieving a comprehensive victory. Now the humans showcases their advanced technology and tactics that give the human fleet an edge. The descriptions of the innovative weapons, defensive systems, and strategies used by the fleet emphasize the importance of technological superiority. Scenes of intense combat, strategic maneuvers, and technological innovation add depth and excitement to the narrative. The chapter highlights the importance of adaptability and innovation in achieving victory. Intense battle scenes, highlighting different aspects of space warfare and the personal stakes for the characters involved, are depicted in detail. The key battles and skirmishes are intense and exciting, showcasing the skill and bravery of the human fleet. Scenes of dogfights, strategic positioning, and coordinated attacks add depth and excitement to the narrative. The chapter emphasizes the importance of teamwork, strategy, and determination in achieving victory. The fall of the Faukanki homeworld. The climactic battle for the Faukanki homeworld, the final stand of the Faukanki forces, and the overwhelming human victory are depicted in vivid detail. The descriptions of the battle are intense and exciting, showcasing the skill and bravery of the human fleet. Masterful key tactical maneuvers, the role of individual heroes, and the turning points in the battle. The sense of scale and intensity is emphasized, making the battle a central and climactic event in the story. Victory and celebration. The celebration of victory across human space, the recognition of heroes, and the collective relief and joy of the human race are depicted in detail. Scenes of celebrations, speeches, and ceremonies add emotional weight and depth to the narrative. We learn the importance of unity, resilience, and determination in achieving victory. The sense of relief, joy, and optimism for the future is palpable, setting the stage for the final chapter. Chapter 8. A New Dawn Return to Earth. The 7th Fleet Battle Group returns to Earth with a huge, long sky parade, with the fleet's triumphant return to Earth. The grand celebrations, the recognition of Admiral Banks and other key figures, and the collective joy of the human race are depicted in vivid detail. Scenes of celebrations, speeches, and ceremonies add emotional weight and depth to the narrative. The chapter emphasizes the importance of unity, resilience, and determination in achieving victory. Rebuilding and recovery. The efforts to rebuild the war-torn regions, the role of different human planets, and the contributions of civilians and military personnel are detailed. Scenes of reconstruction, recovery, and renewal add depth and hope to the narrative. The chapter highlights the importance of unity, resilience, and determination in achieving victory. The sense of relief, joy, and optimism for the future is palpable, setting the stage for the final chapter. New alliances and peace. The formation of new alliances, the establishment of peace treaties, and the integration of the conquered territories are explored. Scenes of diplomatic meetings, negotiations, and alliances provide insight into the broader political landscape. The chapter emphasizes the importance of diplomacy, unity, and cooperation in building a peaceful and prosperous future. The sense of optimism and hope is palpable, setting the stage for the final chapter. Personal stories and reflections. The personal journeys of key characters, their reflections on the war, and their plans for the future are depicted in detail. Scenes of personal reflections, reunions, and future plans add emotional depth and resonance to the narrative. We can't emphasize enough the importance of personal growth, resilience, and determination in achieving victory. The sense of relief, joy, and optimism for the future is palpable, setting the stage for the final chapter. Honoring the fallen ceremonies to honor those who sacrificed their lives, the creation of memorials, and the collective mourning of humanity are depicted in detail. Scenes of ceremonies, speeches, and memorials add emotional weight and depth to the narrative. The chapter emphasizes the importance of remembrance, honor, and respect in achieving victory. The sense of collective mourning, relief, and optimism for the future is palpable, setting the stage for the final chapter. A hopeful future. The vision for humanity's future, the lessons learned from the war, and the optimism for continued exploration and expansion among the stars are explored. Scenes of future plans, technological innovations, and new discoveries add depth and hope to the narrative. The chapter emphasizes the importance of unity, resilience, and determination in building a bright and prosperous future. The sense of relief, joy, and optimism for the future is palpable, providing a hopeful and uplifting conclusion to the story. Thank you for taking this journey with us. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.